Talk about Harrow and your relationship and what he's carrying out to a shoot or to film you back in the day.
Oh, man. Well, Tony Harrington, he's got to be one of the most untidiest photographers that I know. Well, he's probably the only photographer he's like a brother to me, you know.
Yeah.
We travelled everywhere together.
Looking through all these to a lot of the photos.
Everything's of Harrow.
Yeah.
Every shot's pretty much of Tony. So, but we used to obviously stay in the same, you know, hotels and all that kind of stuff together when we were travelling. We used to draw a line down the middle of the room. I'm like, all right, Harrow, that's your side of the room. You can be as messy as you freaking want on that side of the room, but like, don't you come across this side because
way.
like I'm a very, very tidy and
pedantic about
like
everything.
got that OCD thing going on and stuff. So we kind of had that little thing going on. Yeah. That's your half and that's mine, mate.
And so you still see him these days, Harrow?
I haven't seen Harrow for a little while, but we talk.
Yep.
We talk. He's obviously, he hasn't stopped what he's doing, mate. You know, between the mountains and the ocean, he keeps himself really, really busy and still's got that passion and drive for travel and to get that next epic shot.
Yeah.
And, he's opened up a photo gallery in a photo shop and a photo gallery in Bulla.
Yeah.
Bulla? Yeah, it's Bulla.
Yeah, I saw he's doing some stuff down there.
And so he's doing well down there and stuff. But you know what? There's. I wouldn't put it past us if we put together maybe in the next couple of years like a little trip to do a photo shoot to Japan or maybe even back up to Alaska to drop some lines up there before the carcass gets too
well, we
old,
touched
mate.
on Alaska and how extreme it is. Some of the wild stories of you shooting guns, doing wild shit. Terrain-wise, what did you get into up there? Like some of the older crew here will know the areas that you were going to. Like you said Valdez before. Did you go elsewhere, or are you just going there, right in the same places every time you go back?
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Pretty much. I mean, there's a lot of terrain out of Valdez.
Yeah.
You know, you can drop lines up there till you're black and blue.
Yeah.
And you know, you won't do the same one over.
Yeah.
Once again, with our budget, it was pretty
limited.
We didn't have much budget, so what we do is we'd get the plane up to a saddle and then we'd hike and do our photos and all that kind of stuff and really save your money for a good day and good weather.
Because, I mean, most people that are going to watch this, like our age, obviously, are going to know that was the go back then. A lot of the younger crew will have no idea that an Australian magazine sent 4 or 5 Aussies to Alaska on a photo shoot with a chopper or a plane involved, you know what I mean? Like kids are hard out these days trying to get a project to go to, you know, so we spoke to a bloke who's trying to go to Finland or just to go to a resort for a month, you know what I mean, to get that sort of shit paid. Like, even though you're saying there's not much money, like you guys weren't getting it, but like to foot a bill
it's
like that
even
now
more expensive. I think it's
now,
even
you know?
more expensive these days.
Yeah, you know.
I mean, we used to get away with a lot of shit back in the day. You couldn't get away with that stuff these days.
Oh, no way. You'd be cut from a team if you know. Like. But that sort of stuff, like, are you approaching people back then? Like, because I spoke to another guy that we had on the show, and it was like you had to be in the mag and have photographers calling you to continually get that sort of thing. Like,
Not for me.
Nah, you had a relationship with Harrow already.
I had a relationship with Harrow, just to go travelling with him, hook up with him every year and then go and meet friends, like, you know, when I'm not doing what I need to be doing or something like that.
Yeah.
My time overseas each year wasn't to compete really.
Yeah.
It was just to do photos and have a good fucking time.
Yeah, rip in. Yeah. And so, like, you're doing all that, right? You're going there, you're doing this stuff. Tell us about the Crystal Awards, actually. That came obviously after. A lot of people have commented, liked, or whatever when I shared an image of that, and I'll put that up again on top of this. Run us through that process and what the Crystal Awards were.
Sure, bro. The Crystal Awards was thought of by Danny Kiwi Meyer.
Yep.
Once again, Danny used to go up to Alaska and do the King of the Hill up there, and so I come really good friends with Danny over the years and stuff. I think I'm not sure whether I knew him before Alaska, but we became pretty good friends over the years and did a little bit of travelling here and there together, Danny and I, and so it's funny, these snowboarders, end up like thinking up of these competitions for everybody else to keep on enjoying within what they wanted to do and what they were enjoying and everything at the time.
Yeah.
So he thought of this contest, and the concept was called the Crystal Awards, and you had 5 categories to shoot for.
Yeah.
You had a black and white, you had a sequence, you had a lifestyle. There's one that I can't remember, and then there was the cliff drop that we won in 1999.
Yeah.
And there was one other thing I can't really remember, but you had these 5 categories. And you go out there and you shoot for all of them, but Harrow pretty much turned around and said to me, "What category do you want to focus on?" And I looked at him really weird, and pretty much said, "Do I have to answer that question, Harrow?" And he goes, "You want to go for the cliff drop?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I do." The conditions weren't right for it to look for that jump, that cliff drop there was like I could have died like
really
easily off that thing, because I flew a lot further than what I expected to go, because the in run was boilerplate, and I went too far up, and I just like to strap in and point it and go straight off.
Turn and
I don't like to turn, all that. Doing that kind of stuff, like on an icy takeoff, catching an edge and stuff that, or it's just, you point it, but I realised, like, fuck, I walked up too much.
Yeah, right.
And that's why that shot is like way out there, because I didn't expect it. And we probed the landing and everything like that. Yeah, Harrow walked across and probed it. We're on the 2 ways and everything like that. But that kind of ended up like working out for the best, because I cleared everything, all these patches of chocolate chip that I drew a line off the top to get through. I cleared all of them and landed way past them and stuff like that. In a big jacuzzi, but didn't ride away from that one. But just kind of jacuzzi checked and then got up and rode out. But that's one for the that'll be with me forever. That shot.
For sure.
We won the most ball swinging category amongst a lot of like.
Big names,
hot shots, big players, in the way of snowboarders and photographers. So we're pretty happy to walk away with that, and which gave us even more stoke and gratitude that like the other competitors and the other photographers, we're all judging. We had to judge, it
wasn't like a poll thing to the public.
No. We sat down and the photographers and the riders had to judge the categories, and which made it even more special.
Yeah. And what are we talking prize wise then? If you won that was like the biggest balls.
No, nothing.
Not a thing.
Nothing.
And obviously you've seen the shot, because we're putting it over this, and you get nothing.
Just
get the glory for the shot.
Just for recognition, just something, bragging rights, I suppose, or something like that. Yeah, we got that. We got that. We went there to get that, and we got that. Yeah, which was, it was some massive names in there and stuff. I think Needham and Hainsey were another Aussie contingent.
Yeah. What they shoot for?
I'm not sure.
Power shot or something?
I'm not quite sure, but that's a big highlight in my snowboarding career. Happened in '99. I think I won a surf snow in the same year.
Let's
in
get into that.
That was my second one.
I'm just going to the surf snow events, Quicksilver ones, were they back then too?
Yeah. Quicksilver, like they thought up of a surf snow contest. It went here and over to France.
Yep.
And the concept was you needed to be good in both disciplines. You need to get a good overall score. If you got a second in the snowboarding and a second in the surfing, it means that you've got only 4 points.
Yep.
The least points, obviously, you had to, if you won both disciplines, well, obviously you were the winner. But
Yep.
you could
Did
get
that ever
you could
happen
get a
when you were in it?
What's that?
Someone win both?
I can't recall. Maybe, I'm not sure. I don't think so.
No. Because I looked at a bunch of results and like Fisher won, or Luke Fisher won a shitload of them, but like I couldn't see him first place in the
No. He was just one consistent motherfucker. Man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean, he bought a house out of winning those competitions, but
Hear that?
way back in the day. But I won my first one in 1994.
Yep.
I got my first title, the surf snow title, in 1994, and then.
What'd you get in that? Like, you got higher in the surfing or the snowboarding? Because you were surfing, obviously, growing up in Maroubra, you're probably decent.
Yeah, I think I was just average in, like, pretty good in both.
I
was consistent in both.
Yeah. So
that's where I I had a pretty good game on. I was
getting higher in snowboarding, though, you reckon?
I just
can't remember. Yeah. All good.
Way back in the day. But
well, there is a surf snow comp coming next year. I can tell you that there will be one next year.
I'll be all over that.
I'm not allowed to say who's behind it or what's going on, but someone watching knows, and they've told me, and it's going to be next year. So
sweet.
Keep an ear out.
I'll be in it, and I'll be fit and stuff, and I'll you know what, I'm hanging to get back. I went up to the bank slalom this year and had a little bit of a look around. Obviously, I can't ride. Just gone through an operation and that, but I thought, you know what, if I'm down here and stuff, and this is what's been bringing me back from what we'll get into and stuff, and that's been around people that you know and love, and and getting back to what you know and love, and you know, just being freaking stoked.
Yeah.
I mean, just for
snowboarding,
just for sitting up there, you know, watching your mates boogie down the bank slalom and be in the elements. And you know, getting all that goodness in you, the air and all of that stuff.